September 16th, 2024 meeting of the Westfield Redevelopment Commission. David, if you'll take the roll, please.
Joe Plankis.
Here.
Brian Michael.
Here.
Larry Kemper.
Here.
We have a quorum. John and Brian Polowski are not available this evening, so we'll move on to the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. Are there any corrections, changes that the commission members are looking at for the minutes? If not, I'm open for a motion for approval.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Okay, motion by Brian Michael, second by Larry Kemper. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. David?
Joe Plankis.
Aye.
Brian Michael.
Aye.
Larry Kemper.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes 3-0. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the RDC Executive Session Memorandum from last month. Any changes or corrections to the memorandum? Hearing none, I'm open for a motion for approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion by Larry Kemper, second by Brian Michael. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. David?
Joe Plankis.
Aye.
Brian Michael.
Aye.
Larry Kemper.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Motion passes 3-0. Next item on the agenda is the Clerk Treasurer's monthly September report and interest income. Marla, are you there? She is not.
No, Marla was not able to attend the meeting tonight. I've brought the first of her two documents up here that have our August balance, beginning and ending balance for each of the funds.
Okay, the only question I had is I didn't see anything from Taft, so I was kind of wondering if they did not submit any invoices, and that's maybe not a question you can answer, you know.
If I remember correctly, there were not invoices that went through that month from Taft.
Okay.
I think they came in right after the docket.
Okay. I'd like seeing the second document, which, does anyone have any questions on this first document on the September report? Okay, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I think it's a nice improvement from prior. This, of course, came in 3 pages, so I did a little cutting and pasting physically to get a good-looking document here that we could follow month to month. Nice improvement, I think. It's the first time we've seen this one, I think, in this format. Janelle, any comments you'd like to make?
No, I do appreciate having this breakdown, though. This is really helpful for us to understand better what's happening with finances.
Oh, absolutely. This is a very, very nice improvement. Does this require a vote on our part? This is really just passing
No.
information along, right?
Correct.
Okay, then we'll move on to the next item, which are the claims for September 16th. Do any commission members have any questions or comments on claims? Okay, hearing none. Open for a motion for approval.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion by Brian Michael, second by Larry Kemper. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. David, if you would.
Joe Plankis.
Aye.
Brian Michael.
Aye.
Larry Kemper.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Thank you. Mr. Trinian, welcome to the September meeting. Grant Park agreements.
Good evening, Commission members. Matt Trini on behalf of Grand Park. Before you this evening are 12 agreements up for ratification, 11 of which are standard use agreements, one of which is a sponsorship agreement. Sent it out, didn't receive any comments or questions, but happy to take any now if you have any.
Any questions for Matthew? If not, open for a motion for approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion from Larry Kemper, second by Brian Michael. David, take the roll, please.
Joe Plankis.
Aye.
Brian Michael.
Aye.
Larry Kemper.
Aye.
Okay, motion
Thank you.
passes. Thank you very much, Matthew. Good job, as usual. Executive Director report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Get our slideshow up. Okay, so I wanted to start with a brief staff update. I have new hires that have joined us over the last month or so. Rachel Baker is a redevelopment manager, helping a lot with the financial side of our redevelopment projects. And then Lauren Wall has joined us just within the last week. She is an economic development strategist, again, helping a lot with the redevelopment projects and with a lot of the efforts that we're doing in conjunction with Community Development Department, with the comprehensive plan update and redevelopment planning of Grand Park and downtown. Some announcements on awards, monumental awards hosted by Indy Chamber. We will be attending to support SEP, which received one award. Their architect was CSO. It was an architecture award, and then Westfield Washington Library also received an award. So we will be joining with a lot of the board members from Westfield Washington Library and some staff to go show support for these two projects at Tibbs Drive-In on October 1st. So I thought those were some nice wins for the city. We're also focusing a lot on training and conferences, partly for education purposes, but also to help do economic development and find businesses that might be interested in relocating here to Westfield, and to share more information about the city of Westfield with the development world. IEDA Summer Conference, Claire had attended. A handful of us attended the Invest Hamilton County Conference, which was a workforce development event. Claire also attended the Raleigh Innovation Conference, which targets a lot of really high-tech companies. We'll also be attending the MIBOR Sell Our Cities, which is really, I think, focused a lot on the residential side of what's happening in Westfield and surrounding areas, but should help give us a little bit of the pulse on what's happening in that residential market and how we might be able to leverage some of the assets that they use to sell homes to also sell to businesses here. And then there's also an upcoming event hosted by ULI, which focuses on missing middle housing, which a handful of people from economic development and community development plan to attend. We're also hosting some upcoming training opportunities. ULI Urban Plan, that will be hosted at Westfield and will be incorporating training for staff and city council. If there are any RDC members that would also like to attend, you guys are more than welcome to participate. It is a day of playing with Legos and learning how to put developments together. And then it's basically a mock RFP response where you are given a development challenge and each team competes with the others to come up with the best development project. And then they face a mock city council who gets to ask them really great, fun questions. And then they have to defend their projects. And then Rachel will also be attending the AIM conference in October so that she can learn a little bit more about municipal finance updates in the state of Indiana.
Can you send out some dates on that event then?
Sure,
Janelle,
I'd be happy
please.
to.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Construction update, specifically Union Square Garage. This is I would say our highlight of our construction updates on redevelopment projects. Union Square is expected to open in late spring, early summer of 2025. That is an August image that's up there on the screen. The concrete for the 2 levels of parking is complete. The framing is at levels 4 and 5 roughly, and they should be dried in for interior finishes to start going in December 2024. Turnover for Union Square of the garage will happen simultaneously with the opening of the apartment buildings. So we're looking at that late spring, early summer, May, June timeframe for that garage to be open and operational. And then Sun King, which will be located approximately where the larger pile of dirt is there at the lower left corner of that image. That has started its first phase, which is relocating that old fire station slightly off-site. That will be incorporated into the Sun King building when it is completed. Comprehensive plan. This is a citywide project to update our comprehensive plan, not just actually for the city, but also for the entire township. and think about what our long-term plans are for development in and around the city, make sure that we are across all departments cohesive in how we're planning things. So not only are we looking at the types of development that will happen, residential, commercial, industrial, mixed use, but we're also integrating that into an economic impact study and an infrastructure plan, which will include roads and utilities. REA, Rondell Ernstberger out of Indianapolis, will be leading this effort, and they have support from Urban 3 and Lockmuller Group on the economic impact study and infrastructure. The project manager for Rondell Ernstberger is a Westfield resident, Cynthia Bowen, so I think that will be great to have local presence really engaged in this process. They've put together a preliminary schedule. We'll be working through 2024 on assessment and building capacity and starting to work on the vision for the city in the winter. So it would be January through March timeframe, with a lot of impact or a lot of input coming from the mayor and, of course, city council and other stakeholders. They'll start working on draft plan developments in the spring, summer of 2025, and we'll eventually be looking for adoption in fall of 2025 through winter of 2026. There will be engagement that happens along the way. In this preliminary schedule, I have not identified specifically which types of stakeholders will be engaged in each step of the process, but that will be a strategy that is really formulated in that first stage of the comp plan project with Rondell Ernstberger. A couple photos that I have off here to the right are examples of some of the engagement processes that they've implemented in other communities, including going out to local farmers markets and other events to gather input on specific ideas, and then really working closely with stakeholders on maps of the city to help figure out solutions to problems with transportation, utilities, and development. I think these are really great hands-on ways to get people engaged and get really great feedback. The cost of this plan will be $520,000. It is a lump sum fee, and it will be oversight primarily by the Community Development Department with integration with both our department, Public Works, and Parks will also be included. They will focus on some specific areas, including a market and fiscal analysis. They'll look at land use across all of Washington Township. They'll do a housing market study. This was an add-on that we decided to opt into after their initial proposal. We thought it was really important to understand what the housing needs were rather than just create locations to locate the housing. They're also going to do an equity study across the city, look at transportation systems, including alternative transportation, public transportation, and of course utilities and trail-oriented development. We'll also be working on a downtown redevelopment plan. Images to come. We don't have anything to share yet, so as I provide updates over the next couple months, hopefully I'll have some information to share here. We are currently in the procurement phase. The Community Development Department distributed RFPs over the summer, and we have preliminarily selected a team. We're working on the final terms of the contract, and then that will go in front of the BPW for approval sometime here in the fall of 2024. We're looking at this being about a 6 to 8 month period of time where we'd have 2 months of discovery. They will be doing a pretty thorough evaluation of the assets that are already available in downtown, determining which things are important to retain, where are opportunities for improvement and development, what is the personality of downtown, and how do we make sure that that we create an authentic downtown for the future. And then we'll spend 4 months doing visualization and come up with ideas. This will be renderings, massings, site plans, and then as we wrap up that phase, they'll start to put together a story that we can share. This would include, social media, website, and other resources that the public can use in order to understand what the plan is for downtown, and for us to be able to communicate to developers and investors why they should locate here in Westfield and be a part of the future growth of downtown Westfield. This project will also be overseen by Community Development Department. We don't have the total cost of this determined yet, but I will say that this is going to be a more detailed development plan as compared to the comprehensive plan, where we would have more renderings, massings. We'll get into more of the details than we would for the overall comprehensive plan. And then our other major area of focus for the planning side right now is the Grand Park Area Master Plan. This, of course, is being led by the Economic Development Team. We're working with Spec Dempsey and Perkins and Will on this plan. This is just kind of recapping what we've talked about previously, targeting attracting targeted industries, focusing on entertainment, retail, agritourism, sports tech, Class A office, family entertainment, and hotel. We are expecting to have a proposal for a hotel study to be implemented by Hunden Partners as part of the contract that we had approved previously here at the RDC. We're just defining what the scope and schedule will be for that hotel study, but this is within the amount that was already approved in their previous contract. And that will study hotels at Grand Park and the surrounding area. And again, our goal is to create a vibrant mixed-use district. We want a place where people can come for a tournament or come for a practice, and they can enjoy dinner, they can stay at their hotel, they can enjoy parks, and they can really feel like they're part of the Westfield community as a destination, not just a sports facility. This is just a reminder again of some of our goals for the master plan, creating a gateway from 191st Street, that entrance from the north side adjacent GPEC, and then creating future gateways along 186th Street and Grand Park Boulevard so that people know that they've arrived at Grand Park as they drive in or walk in or take whatever mode of transportation they desire. And then with this, we're considering relocation of some of the fields that were within this Area A that's marked above. So there's a current championship field located south of GPEC as well as a championship diamond, and we're currently evaluating alternative locations for those two fields so that we can create this destination development and still be able to serve the same amount of tournament traffic that Grand Park currently is providing. I'm working alongside Grand Park staff to help identify those potential locations. We're also looking for potential locations in or around Grand Park for an ice facility, which we've talked about a couple of times, which was supported by the Hunden study, a full-service hotel, a sports tech innovation hub, and obviously a handful of other destinations that we would want to bring into this really large development area. An update on our timeline, we did hold our first workshop over the summer. We have a second one scheduled for the third week of October. It'll be a 3-day visit from the Spec Dempsey, Perkins and Will team, working alongside staff to help refine those plans and figure out the phasing of implementing this plan, and started really putting together some cost estimates and some design images that we can really kind of sink our teeth into and figure out how we make this great development happen. And then we plan to have this finalized in January, ready for presentation. This is, again, just a reminder of some of the outcomes that we had come up with during that initial workshop. No changes here. The initial concept that was developed by the team, which we've been providing input on over the last month or so, really, again, as we've been talking about the phasing and how this project would get implemented, determining which things are realistic, which things probably need to be modified slightly, and really where do we want key attractions to be located within the district in order for it to all flow the way we want it to. One item that I do want to highlight specifically on this plan, running north-south through the middle of the plan from GPEC all the way down to the Grand Park Pond, is what we're currently calling the Central Activity Spine. This is really a linear park, not unlike the Monon in Midtown and Carmel, where there's a complete street, opportunities for playground splash pads, those types of entertainment spaces to occur in the center of the development. It will be different from the Monon section in Midtown. We will not have a bike trail running right through the middle of it, so it will definitely read very differently for the people that are visiting, but it still does have that same goal of entertaining and engaging people along the entire length. And this is just a frame of reference of where our 5 and 10-minute walks are. This is a much bigger area than it looks like on a map. So from that center that center circle between the two, right here, that center of the circle here, it's a 5-minute walk out to the perimeter. So you can see if you're coming from Grand Park all the way down to the center, you're really talking about a 10 to 15-minute walk. So finding alternative transportation options that can help people move throughout the Grand Park Event Center and surrounding area will be important as well. And this is just a section showing what that area looks like around the canal or the pond there on the south, and a section cut of what that new street could look like. We have provided feedback to the design team that the 2 bike paths that we've shown in the center section here would actually be relocated out towards the sidewalk closer to the building, basically between the cars and the sidewalk, so that we can keep that center section open for pedestrians and for entertainment uses. And there's just standard street showing the wider sidewalk, tree plantings, really an opportunity for people to congregate. We should have enough room for patios and cafe-type seating along restaurant perimeters there as well. And that's what I have for my executive session update. Or not executive session, executive director report.
Obviously, you're not bored, Janelle.
No, we're not bored. We're having a lot of fun.
No, and we're excited about that because there's just love to have the level of activity that you guys are working on and in the response you apparently are getting from the development community. That's great. It's very exciting for sure. Any questions for Janelle on her presentation, fellows? No, nothing, okay. We will move on to the next item of business, which is old business. We have the 2024 RDC budget and annual cash flow.
Yeah, and we are just putting in front of you the budget, not the cash flow. We had intended to provide the monthly cash flow only for your reference, so we're just presenting the 2024 budget to you here. So as requested at the last meeting, we have condensed this down to a single-page summary that includes all of the information by allocation area throughout the city. And if you have any questions on how this budget was developed, Oscar is here from Bondry to answer any questions.
Okay, I don't have any in particular at this point, Oscar. There's a couple of minor things, and Janelle kind of answered those for me earlier this evening. Good work on getting it all condensed into something that's readable and usable. Thank you for that. Any comments you'd like to make, Oscar, in regards to that?
No, you can thank Alex who's on the line. He put it together. I'm just here to take credit for his work.
Okay, any questions from commission members?
No questions, just want to say thank you for the document.
Yes, thank you very much, for sure. If nothing further, we'll take a opportunity for a motion for approval of the budget for 2024.
Make a motion to approve the 2024 budget.
Second.
Okay, motion by Brian Michael, second by Larry Kemper. David, if you would, please.
Joe Plankis,
Aye.
Brian Michael,
Aye.
Larry Kemper.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Hooray, we have a budget. Thank you very much. Next
Thank you,
item.
everyone. That took a long time. I
Oh.
appreciate all of your diligence through this effort, everyone.
It was a team effort, truly,
For
for
sure.
sure. Next item on the agenda is new business. Action item number 1, Resolution 26-2024, Portal Diabetes Project Agreement. Janelle?
Thank you. Before I bring the resolution up, I have just a little fact sheet that I wanted to put up here in front of you, and then also share a couple of details about Portal Diabetes and their business. This is a new business relocating from California to Westfield. They came to us late in the spring and had interest in leasing this building along the Monon in South Park. And we have been working with them on incentives to make this project a reality for them. They will be investing a little bit over $4 million total, including a personal property investment of $3.3 million and estimated construction costs of $375,000. Their construction costs are primarily to build clean rooms and other technology to support their medical device manufacturing and research and development activities. This is, again, a medical devices company. They focus on diabetes, a diabetes portal system. So their product will fully automate the insulin delivery, storing up to 12 weeks of insulin through an artificial pancreas. They'll be employing up to 35 full-time employees with an average wage of about $65 an hour, which comes out to $135,000 a year. And they're leasing 18,000 square feet of existing space located on South Park Drive. They additionally have some incentives coming in from the IEDC because they are relocating from out of state. So this is really a great opportunity, not only for Westfield, but for the state of Indiana. And I did learn recently that part of the reason that they loved this location is because of its proximity to the Monon. So we do see this as a great opportunity for attracting businesses that want to be in the future of Westfield. We see the Monon and the Midland Trace Trail being opportunities for future redevelopment and investment. So happy to have them talking to us and excited to bring this opportunity in front of you. So the incentives that are associated with the project agreement, and again, I'll bring the resolution up here in just a moment, include a 100% personal property abatement for 10 years, which is an estimated value of about $342,000. And then additionally, there would be a $100,000 grant to cover some of their tenant fit out and clean room work. Let me jump back to the resolution. So this would be a resolution authorizing that project agreement that contemplates that grant and the abatement. The abatement will be going to City Council next week.
Okay, very good. This is an exciting one for Westfield, that's for certain. Any questions for commission members for Janelle on portal diabetes? Okay, seeing none, I'm open for a motion for approval of the resolution 26-2024.
Motion to approve resolution number 26-2024.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Larry Kemper, second by Brian Tomamichael. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. David?
Joe Plankis,
Aye.
Brian Tomamichael,
Aye.
Larry Kemper.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Thank you. Good work, team. That's great. Action item number 2 is resolution 27-2024 regarding Ambrose on Main project agreement.
Thank you very much. I'm going to do a brief introduction of this project here, and then Shelby Bowen from Rebar Development will do a little bit more in-depth presentation, including a video. But wanted to give you some highlights why this project is important to the city of Westfield. This is I don't know what I just did there. Hold on. Let's try that again. Okay. This is a $21 million investment. Our estimated assessed value for this project at the completion of construction is over $13 million. We're estimating revenue to the schools will be almost $36,000 a year. An estimated net tax increment at the completion of $244,000 a year. At the end of the 25-year bond term, that will be $244,000 plus whatever inflation and escalation that we have over that period of time coming back to the city. And then we are offering incentives of this project for 100% TIF developer-backed bond, which will help fund improvements along State Road 32 and East Street, as well as the parking. They have public plaza patio type area that will be open to the public, as well as that will be here on the east side of the building. And then there is also some patio space here along the roundabout frontage, elevated hardscape and landscaping, and we really see this as a gateway and a catalyst for future redevelopment in the downtown area. Another incentive that we're offering, which we believe is also a huge benefit to the city, is that the developer has acquired 2 parcels here along the north side of the development, which are in alignment with Penn Street. So the Public Works Department will be working with the developer to acquire those 2 parcels at the average of 2 appraisals and constructing an extension of Penn Street along the north side of the development, connecting all the way over to Hillcrest. Project statistics: 87 luxury apartments. There's about 1,500 square feet of rooftop amenity space for those residents, 13,000 square feet of commercial, primarily located along State Road 32, just under 10,000 square feet of public plaza and patio, and 222 parking spaces, bringing some capacity to the downtown. Estimated completion of the project is December of 2026. I will say from a timing standpoint, you have not seen an allocation area come to you yet on this project. This will get introduced in November, and we would anticipate that this would go through the process and come back for a confirmatory resolution and bond approval sometime in the December or January timeframe. So with that, I'm going to hand this over to Shelby and hope that our video comes up, and we should be set to go. There we go.
Thank you, Janelle. I appreciate the introduction. I've really not much left after that. That was fantastic. So I'll try not to screw it up with the follow-up. It's exciting to be here. Really appreciate Janelle, Mayor Willis, and the staff who's provided a lot of input and involvement in kind of directing things that are best for the city of Westfield, not just when this project's done, but how do we plan around engagement on future development on this side of Main Street. My name's Shelby Bowen. Mr. President, members of the commission, thank you for the opportunity to present tonight, Ambrose on Main. We've been interested in investing in Westfield for some time, and when Mayor Willis and his team kind of got into City Hall and started talking about how we can move some things forward, we were certainly eager to come sit down and see what those opportunities are. Our background, every project that I have participated in the last 19 years has been a public-private partnership. And then since I started Rebar in 2017, same. Every project we've done has been a partnership with a community here in the state of Indiana. Experienced team of architects, civil engineers, everybody involved in this is first class and have done multiple projects in the state and across the Midwest. So we're lucky to have them on the design team. So I think I jumped ahead to the good stuff, because I think it would help to see just contextually kind of where we're talking about here. As Janelle said, right away when her and Mayor Willis and their team said, hey, this could be a potentially key development parcel for our city, we agreed. I really love the idea that we can start to frame that gateway coming from the east and as it presents into downtown. We've had other projects in central Indiana where we really have kind of established an anchor and been a part of the momentum that you all already have here is exciting. So we're talking about the northeast corner of 32 and East Street, bound by Hillcrest to the east, and then what is really a fantastic addition to the project, which is the extension of Penn Street to the north. That just opened up so many opportunities and it made this project infinitely better than where we started. So we think that particular parcel allows us to do something pretty special here, as you can see coming into downtown with the rendering of a future roundabout. And this just is presented as an opportunity of engagement to the south and the roundabout. I'll leave that to Janelle and her team to decide if that comes to fruition. So here is the site plan, and we've evolved, come a long ways. I think may not be as noticeable to you all, but there was a fair amount of discussion about creating pedestrian engagement from all areas. So you see here there's walkways and plaza areas and connections really at every point around the project in anticipation of being able to host and invite folks to visit the project safely and easily, including some contemplation about hosting golf cart community if that comes to fruition. I like the idea that we have turned what is a flood zone. What you see in red is the ability to leave some of the existing trees, and it's kind of unique to be able to have that type of green space adjacent to a downtown mixed-use project. So what was initially an obstacle, I think, is going to be a really fantastic amenity for the restaurant that we anticipate on the end cap and the folks that choose to live and work here. This rendering is evolving. I think we're getting close. We've had a lot of feedback and have pushed hard to try to get something in front of you that demonstrates where we'll end up. I think the key takeaways are that it's going to be very high quality. I'm proud of the stuff that we've built up in central Indiana, and I think that we continue to get better. And I always think about the next project is going to be our best one because we're able to take what we've done well and then combine that with vision for the city of Westfield, and that was really an elevated vision for how do we continue to set a precedent for high-quality downtown development, and that's something that's important to us, too. And I think we're close to getting right there with this high-quality materials of stone and masonry and brick, and just a really sharp, timeless look. One of the things we've done here, you see, is it's all commercial on the first floor along Main Street. And I like the visibility and access, and we've already received, despite the fact this is the first public presentation we've given, somehow people have a tendency to find out what we're up to. And we've had a fair amount of calls already for this space, both office and restaurant and other uses. It can really be a pretty cool engagement to 32, and that's one of the things, if I went back to the site plan, we'll have steps and ramps and all these connections from our project down to Main Street so people can utilize that path and really feel like it's a part of what's happening in the streetscape. The end cap will be important, so we're going to certainly focus on what does that look like as you're coming up the hill from the east, and I think we'll be able to accomplish a pretty compelling entrance into downtown. This rooftop amenity, not only does it look really cool from folks who are driving by, but we've done this in a few other projects. This will be the most visible and impactful of the projects where we've done this, but I can tell you it's just an absolutely cool amenity. We have a work from home center up on that floor, and so folks can kind of work from home here and go out on the patio and enjoy some fresh air. Here just shows you how the building is laid out with commercial along 32, residential and amenities on the first floor, apartments on second, third, and fourth floor. I'm sorry. And then here you can see the rooftop amenity. Janelle covered the project facts as we dial it in. Most importantly here is we're excited. When you sit in the meeting, you kind of, like you all, you see why Westfield, and the things that Janelle covered just in the last 45 minutes are extraordinary, and we're excited to have the opportunity to try to be a part of that. All of the things that you'll continue to pursue in your downtown plans are things that we think enhance our project. I mean, at the end of the day, we have to build something we hope is really compelling because there's going to be a lot of choices in downtown Westfield. So we're going to focus a lot on architecture, on amenities, on finishes, on access to all of the other things that are already here. And we think we can easily accomplish that and are excited to have the opportunity to do so. As Janelle said, we've requested to capture our TIF increment and have already have a purchaser lined up for the bond. We'll take the risk on that, and so that's necessary for us to kind of complete the project, but all of that is lined up. Timeline, I've got it a little more aggressive than Janelle. She's probably more realistic, but I push our team to try to get going, and I want to have these apartments for lease and this office and commercial space leased hopefully by late summer, early fall of '26. So I'm asking tonight for your support of the ordinance to approve the project agreement so we can continue to work with the city, Janelle and her team, to kind of bring this to detail and fruition so that we can move forward on our development plan and then eventually be back to finalize that plan. Any questions?
I'm happy to move the deadline up.
Right, I know.
I have no problems
Yes.
with moving the deadline.
Yeah, I'm really grateful. The collaboration with the city has been key to keep us really highly motivated to bring this project to fruition. And it's no small task, as you know, to assemble the land and be ready to go. And we are. We have all the pieces under contract and are looking for your support.
Okay, Shelby, thank you very much. Great details to follow up with Janelle's presentation, and this is a really exciting project. We were talking about the Hoffas being on that corner years ago, and now we see something coming to fruition that is way above what would have been originally planned for that corner. So we're looking forward to bringing that to a conclusion so we can let you guys move forward. Any questions from commission members? Okay, if not, open for motion for approval of 27-2024.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion by Brian Tamamichael, second by Larry Kemper. David, if you'll take the roll, please.
Joe Plankis,
Aye.
Brian Michael,
Aye.
Larry Kemper.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes 3-0. Thank you for coming, Shelby. Appreciate it. And good luck, and keep it moving forward. We're there to support you.
Thank you, Shelby.
Okay, next item on the agenda is Resolution 28-2024.
Okay, this is the economic development area for South Park. This is the same area that we were just talking about previously, where Portal Diabetes will be locating. There is an economic revitalization area that is also going through City Council at the same time as this economic development area. The parcels that are included in each area are exactly the same. And I want to explain a bit about why we're doing both simultaneously. First of all, the ERA, which is not coming to the Redevelopment Commission, it just goes to City Council, is necessary in order to approve abatements. The particular parcel that Portal Diabetes is moving into was not part of the South Park ERA as it existed, so we were expanding it. As we were contemplating future development that would happen in this area, it made sense that we develop an economic development area that matched the economic revitalization area so that we had maximum flexibility as we were considering incentives to offer either an abatement or tax increment financing, depending on the type of investment that was happening on any particular parcel. So that is the reason that we're doing both. We would not be offering abatements and TIF on two projects. This would be an either or in most conditions. I can't think of anywhere we would do an abatement and a TIF. But this, again, just gives us the flexibility, and it helps make sure that we all are focusing on the same area, whether it is for businesses that are moving into existing facilities within this area under an abatement, or we're building new buildings and trying to redevelop additional areas here. One area of focus for us is this Hayworth Business Park. We're hoping that we can work with the landowner to come up with a plan for that area. I know it's been on the market for a long time, so this could offer some opportunities for that to become a reality as well. So these are the parcels included in that EDA. This is immediately adjacent to the Monon Trail and encompasses everything that is along South Park Drive that is non-residential. Happy to answer any other questions that you have. There is also an economic development plan in your packet that is here as an attachment.
Okay, any questions for Janelle on this particular resolution? Hearing none, I'll open for a motion for approval.
Motion to approve resolution number 28-2024.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion by Larry Kemper, second by Brian Tamamichael. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. David?
Joe Plankis,
Aye.
Brian Michael,
Aye.
Larry Kemper.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is Resolution 29-2024, amendments to declaratory resolution, Aurora EDA.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to shrink this one down a bit so we can see it better. Okay, this is an existing EDA, Aurora. It has a couple of allocation areas within it already, and this encompasses primarily North Point 1 and North Point 2 PUDs. However, there are a handful of parcels that have not been annexed into the city, and we also, which is why we have a few gaps in here. And we also have some parcels, particularly this one right here, which is the future home of Community Hospital. And they will have an approximate 1,500 employee count. And as they're bringing all of this opportunity for other businesses to be located in and around the hospital parcels, we wanted to make sure that we have the ability to reinvest in this area, make sure that we have the road infrastructure that we need, that we can provide any other improvements that are necessary in order to provide support services for the hotel, whether it be daycares, restaurants, other suppliers that are bringing things to the hotel, and then also be able to support the industrial development in North Point. So rather than coming back for each individual project and amending the EDA, we wanted to just fill out the entire area as best we could until there are further annexations, so that we have that opportunity to work on incentives moving forward. I'm happy to answer any questions. Just as an explanation of the two colors, green is the existing Aurora EDA, and yellow is the additions to the E EDA.
Okay. Any questions for Janelle? If not, open for a motion for approval.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion by Brian Tom Michael, second by Larry Kemper. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. David?
Joe Plankis,
Aye.
Brian Michael,
Aye.
Larry Kemper.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Thank you very much. Wow, busy evening. Other business, we have no other business at this time. Just a reminder that our next regular meeting date is Monday, October 21st, 2024 at 6 p.m., current same location. Any other items you'd like to cover, Janelle or Ryan?
I don't have anything else tonight.
All right, we're good. Okay, I'm open for a motion for approval, for adjournment. Apologize.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, motion Brian Tom Michael, second from Larry Kemper. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. We'll take a voice vote. Aye.
Aye.
Most meeting is adjourned at 6:46 p.m. Thank you very much. We have a lot of papers to sign, so don't you guys go anywhere.